All right, I'm here with the amazing David Azimi, and we're here to talk about real estate. So, the first thing we want to go over is 817 Horcajo Street. David, tell us what happened.
Hey, Cynthia, thank you for having me here. I'm super excited to tell you what happened here. So, this is about 60 days ago. Client reached out to me through my website, got my information. We got on a Zoom call. We're interviewing 6 or 7 agents. I was the lucky one to be chosen based on the game plan. They did mention to me that there's a tenant occupancy at this property. So, we couldn't really look at the property and I couldn't visit the property. So, I assured my clients that, listen, I've worked with a tenant in the past. Let me talk to them. Once I talked to the tenant, I walked in, made the tenant feel comfortable because it's very hard when you tell a tenant, hey, I'm going to sell the property, you have nowhere to go. So these tenants were extremely nice. I walked through the house, took some videos, pictures. Property needed a ton of work. When I came back, I sat down with the sellers via Zoom. I explained to them, you know what, the property needs landscaping, paint, this and this. They turned around and said, David, even though we haven't signed a listing agreement with you, you went out of the way to do this. We're very impressed. So please send us your listing agreement. So I sent them the listing agreement. They signed the listing agreement. And here we are after 60 days, getting the tenant out, getting the property prepared, staging it. We went live on market. Within 72 hours, I sold this property. The list price was $1,449,900. Clients wanted, the sellers wanted 1.5 or 1.550. Well, we ended up selling this property after 9 offers at 1,710,888. Highest comp sold in an area that has basically a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, less than 1,290 square feet. Now, was that a success story? Absolutely. You had a tenant, I had a tenant on one hand, I had a seller on the other hand, and guess what? The story, just success. 5-star review. They're happy. Tenants moved out. New buyers moved in. I'm blessed.
That's amazing. That couldn't have happened better. And I'm sure your clients are so happy to have chosen you.
They have another client that they're referring me because of what happened.
I bet. I bet everyone in that area, in that market, wants to sell for that high.
Now, I got to tell you another success story since we're on the topic of what's going on.
There we go.
I had a property in St. Carlos, $2.8 million. I had a client went through the website, reached out to me, a buyer. Yes, I do represent buyers. I do represent qualified buyers, and I do the same thing what I do for my sellers, I do for the buyers. Well, I met this buyer at the house, showed him the property for about an hour and a half. Beautiful family. They disappeared on me after that. But I still kept in touch with them. Finally, the husband reached out to me and goes, David, can you show us the house one more time? I said, absolutely. It was a Saturday. I went in there, beautiful day, walked the house, 3.5 hours in the house, 3.5 hours. They went up, down. This is a big house. So after we were done, they said, David, we would like to write our offer, but it has to be contingent upon us selling our property in San Mateo. Now, you know, contingent offers, selling a property is very difficult because the market is a little bit different than it used to be. But I said, no problem, let's sit down. I looked at their property, came up with a very strong pricing strategy. When I presented their offer to my seller, they flat out rejected it. Said, we don't want a contingent offer. Properties. Okay, no worries. I went back to the buyers. I said, you know what? I know I can sell your property, but we have to remove the contingency of selling your property. Now, this is where the trust comes in. This is where when people trust you and understand that you're not a part-time agent, you're a full-time agent, and you're involved every day in day-to-day activities. They said, let's do it. Got their property prepared, put it on market. After 2 weekends of open house, we had 5 offers. We managed to accept the offer. They're pending. Now, success story is that buyer that bought my St. Carlos property, now I'm selling their San Mateo property. Now, both families are happy because it's going to be closing end of this month. And I'll tell you what we're closing it for. But right now, I cannot discuss that price.
That is beautiful. You really do go above and beyond for your clients. And like you always say, who you hire really does. If someone wants to work with you, what should they do?
Well, if they want to work with me, it's very simple. You know, there's no strings attached. Pick up the phone, give me a call. My number is 510-386-4844. Or you can find me at davidazimigroup.com. Send me an email or a text. I'll respond to you immediately. Now, once again, I want you to interview tons of agents. I'm not afraid to be the last one. I'm not afraid to be the first one. Some people have a different style. I'm not saying I'm the best of the best, but I have a style that I think it works for a lot of clients of mine. And if you really want to check out my reviews, please go to Google and check out my reviews because these sellers are extremely happy. I've been doing this for 19 years now, and I have a solid passion for the job, for my clients, and for families that want to start in the future.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you next time.